Here back with John, and we both have rifle bull elk tags. So follow along this week as we try to get a couple on the ground. All right, it's 20 minutes after daylight, probably. Or first light, I should say. It's just now official shooting light. But John and I are gearing up, getting the cold weather gear on, and we're up here. It's got, I don't know, maybe 10 inches of snow on the ground, maybe a foot in spots, and we're getting ready to do the big morning hunt up here in the snow. How many layers you got on, John?
4 on top, 3 on the bottom. Insulated boots.
Perfect.
And I got my Polish Army hat coming on top, so
Yeah.
it'll be all good luck.
And the really important part here is gaiters. Don't forget your gaiters. So I've been following these tracks. Looks like 3 elk. I think one of them's a bull. Just judging by the tracks. They're going through a saddle right now. And just trying to see where they're going to bed. So far, they're just moving from the feeding ground to the bedding ground. Straight line, no detouring. So, we'll see. I'm hoping I can catch up with them. Well, followed those elk for a while. And about 1.5 miles, I guess. And I could tell by their tracks I wasn't really far behind them, maybe a half hour. My plan was to follow them to where they bed, but they weren't bedding quickly. Well, anyhow, tracks are all in a straight line. They're just marching. They weren't in a bed, at least not right away. So, kind of had a time when I told John I would be back. I left him on stand and had to turn around because I didn't want him worrying about me, and I was probably 1.5 miles from where I left him, or more, maybe a little over that. So we just got back here. I got back to him. We're gonna head back to the truck. I got where I left those tracks off marked. It's not too far from the road that we can drive over to, so we might do that. Not sure yet. We're gonna formulate a plan, and yeah, stay tuned. Hunting in the snow. Well, we decided to come sit on stand for the evening, see what we can find. So it's just going to be a wait till dark. We're here about 2 hours till sunset, 2.5 hours. So it's going to be a long, cold wait. Hopefully it'll pay off. I didn't hear any shooting.
I didn't hear 3 shots to come and rescue you.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a nice Nice night, nice sunset.
Yeah,
You can see it.
it was. It was pretty kind of reddish.
Kind of a big old red ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about all I saw though. So
Well, that's a nice spot right there.
yeah,
It's a really good spot. But
we'll hit
back
again
at her tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, see you guys then. Well, this morning, John and I are hiking in on a closed road, a couple miles, and trying to get to a spot where we can glass. See if we can't find some elk. The idea here is find some elk this morning that we either go after this afternoon or maybe even tomorrow. So, big vantage points, that's what we're looking for. Got the spotter and the tripod, and we're gonna sit in glass for a while once we find our spot. Walking along here and I found this where a bull came up on the road, and that's his track there. So we just got out to this area, and I'm telling John this is some of the best elk habitat I've seen yet. It's an old burn, it's real grassy, south-facing slope, just primo elk country. And sure enough, just saw our first elk here.
We're just standing here talking about what we're going to do for the rest of the day, and 5 elk just come walking up past us. I don't think they certainly didn't see us. They just come walking right through the middle of this unit, so it makes it feel a little better. Nice to see some more elk.
All right, we're wrapping it up for the day. Sat on stand there, or sat in that little old burn, and had 3 different groups of elk come by us. Group of 7, group of 2, and group of 5, for a total of 14. Earlier glassing, I saw a cow and calf. Makes it 16, all female for the day, and walking out here, John and I just jumped a little bull. So he's going to be number 17 and the only bull that we saw today. But
Almost the only bull.
almost.
We about got ran over by a bull moose. He came up, talked to us a little bit about 50 yards, and
Yeah.
ran off. And all I could see was his horns, so I had to put the scope on him. It was the wrong color, but I probably could have hit him. He was pretty big.
Big bodied, big antlers. So that was pretty cool, having that bull moose show up. Anyway, we're going to sign off for today. We're probably coming back here tomorrow, I'm guessing. That's quite a few elk, more than we've seen anywhere else. So, yeah, we'll catch you in the morning. Thanks. All right, guys. John and I are up here. We hiked it in the dark. We got elk. We got a cow and calf, a spike bull right over here, and then just up to our left. I've been cow call and I actually got a bull bugling at me. Mid-November, bulls bugling to cow calls. And unfortunately, he's a ways away. I mean, he's down in the draw. He's about 500-600 yards away. He's in the timber. He won't come out. I've got him to bugle 5 or 6 times, but I can't get him to leave. And then I'm getting cows mewing around him as well, so he's with some cows. My guess is probably a small bull. We got some really good country right around the corner here that we're gonna go into, but we're in it. We're in the elk thick. Well, I got to the area with a glass and sitting down here, and so far all I'm seeing is a bunch of mule deer. So I got 4 bucks and 2 does, 2 4-points, then 2 smaller bucks, but no elk yet. Except for those ones we saw when we came in this morning. I dropped John off behind me back where we were last night. He's about a half mile behind me, back close to where we saw those elk this morning, just right up over the top. So I didn't pursue that bull this morning because he was obviously going to bed. And he was following cows, right? And they were heading to bed in timber. The snow's really crunchy. I wouldn't have a shot. All I'm going to do is blow them out of there. So at least this way I get an opportunity to try to hunt them this evening, try to suck them out of the timber. So that's why I did what I did. Thought I'd show you guys where elk have been grazing real heavy. Kind of in this feeding area at the moment. And they have been in here thick. Just last night. I could smell them really strong. There's beds all over the place. Lots of chewed down grass. There've been tracks everywhere. There's been a group hanging out here. So it's kind of fun to see.
Not counting spikes, how many bulls have you seen?
Do moose count?
That was going to be my next question, because we've seen more bull moose.
We just got another bull moose. Guys on this hillside right behind me. Right about there. There's just picked up a bull moose. Bullwinkle. He's not huge, but he's got paddles. And then we've got on this hillside behind me, on this opening right up in the top up there, we've got a group of probably 10 or so elk with a spike and cows. And then we've got another group that we've been slowly watching move across this hillside. I think is going to come out to where we're sitting, which is in their feeding ground. And another group of 6 with a bull in it, a small spike again. So we're not after spikes. We're looking for branch antler bulls, which we have found 0 of. But man, we're seeing lots of elk. We stopped counting today. We've seen a lot of elk today. We're in a really good spot. I bet you in this spot alone, we've seen at least 3 different herds of elk, ranging from 5 to 20 at different points throughout the day. And they just keep coming by. We're in this natural saddle, going from feeding ground to bedding ground, or from bedding ground, in this case, to feeding ground. So we're just set up here waiting for them to come by. That's what we did this morning, and then we're going to try it again this evening. So we got back to the tent here, just sitting next to the wood stove, getting warm, finished up some dinner, strategizing about the plan for tomorrow. So we ended up finding a pile of elk so far in this area that we've been visiting, but it's a bit of a dilemma. They're going to bed very early, and the spot where we have a chance to ambush them, so to speak, they're crossing, I think, before daylight. And so by the time we're finding them, they're already in the timber. And we got snow shortly after we got here, the first day or two after we got here. So it's been about 4 days old now. It's been, sun's hit it, and then it's froze every night, and so it's really crunchy. It's really, really loud to walk on the snow. So I kind of blew everybody up tonight. We kind of set in ambush as they were coming back out of the timber, and I realized that was too far away. They weren't going to make it to me by the time it got dark. So I scooted close. I moved into the timber 100 yards or so and set up, and it worked. But the path that they were on was about 50 yards to my left, and I couldn't see them very well. I could see they're moving through the trees, but I didn't have a clear shooting lane. So when I moved over to get a clear shooting lane, they heard me crunching, and I just blew everybody up, and they all took off. So good news is I don't think they're spooked hard. We're hoping they'll be right back in there tomorrow. We're just trying to figure out what's the best way to actually kill them.
And we did see probably 50 elk today, or something like that.
Yeah, 40 or 50.
And luckily,
different groups, 4 different groups.
And luckily, also ran into another moose. So we're 2 for 2 now on moose. But we'll see.
Another bull moose.
Another bull moose. Yes.
Or bullwinkle moose.
So.
Yep. So that's it. There's so far it's been mostly cows and spikes. A lot of spikes. We're not after those. We're looking for branch antler bulls. I believe there is a bull in there though, and mainly because we've been hearing him. Here it is mid-October, and he's bugled at us.
November.
Mid-November. And he's bugled at us at least a dozen times now. I started cow calling this morning and got him bugling pretty good, and then this evening you heard him bugle six times?
Yeah.
As he was coming, and he was working his way to us. He just didn't get there before he ran out of daylight. So that's kind of the update.
Last day on the mountain.
Yep, last day to hunt tomorrow. We gotta go home the day after, so see how it goes.
Maybe a couple.
Well, you guys, the craziest thing ever. John and I are driving up. He said, "There's elk up in front of us." We pull over, get out. They're going on this ridge up here, and I saw there was a bull in the group, but a small bull, and I didn't have a window to shoot him. John had a window, he shot. So they're up on this hill. The thing slides all the way down, lands on the road. We drive the truck right up to it. We were up on the, we jumped out of the truck, got up on the ridge, and they were just going across the top when he hit it. And it slid back down, and same road the truck was left on, just up in front of it, 200 yards. Easiest pack out in the world.
Got broken here, broken here, broken here.
Yeah?
And broken eyebrow.
Huh.
Well, fate is a fickle thing, you know. We're driving around, really stalling on our last day, because we know we have to make kind of a soft day and have a little hunt. Just going up the steep hill, and here comes a bunch of elk running right across the road. It wasn't right in front of us, but I don't know, it's maybe a 75-yard shot through the timber. Just picked a slot and waited for him. He walked right into it. Next thing you know, he slid head first all the way down to the road, and here we are right on the side of the road. So pretty good, easy day so far. So there we go.
Well, we just got done doing the gutless method real quick, quartering up John's bull, and he's back there and just getting the quarters off the side of the road, and it's pretty cool. So you guys, this is really special for me because this is John's first elk, and I've been taking him, I think this is our second or third, I guess second, technically our second mission to go get him an elk. The first time I took him, we packed in on the horses and found a lot of elk, found several bulls, but there was just a number of crazy circumstances that prevented him from actually harvesting one. That was a couple years ago, and then it's been a bucket list item for him ever since. And so we decided to come do this. It's a general over-the-counter hunt, but I told him, I said, you know, you're not going to shoot a big bull, but we'll likely get a bull. I've done this hunt 3 or 4 times, and we've gotten several bulls. They're, biggest one I think is a 5-point, but he was like, yeah, let's do it. So this is pretty cool. I love seeing people get their first animal, check a bucket list item off for John. For those of you that don't know, John is he's a mentor to me, has been for a long time, and I owe him a lot. He's a dear friend. So as you probably noticed, he's in a lot of my rifle deer hunting videos, and he would continue to be. I pretty much told him I'm going to continue to take him hunting until he tells me he can't go anymore. So this is a cool one though. So we've checked off antelope together. We've done some pack-in mule deer hunts. Now we checked off a bull elk. So it'll be interesting. Next year on the docket, we have a caribou hunt scheduled, John and I do. So that's another bucket list item for him and me too, quite frankly. So stay tuned for that for 2025. But we're checking them off. Congratulations, John. I'm so excited for you. This is memorable. I hope you guys enjoyed this elk hunt as much as we did. I know he's not a trophy bull, but he's a trophy to us. It's John's first elk, so thanks for following along. Catch you guys on the next one. It's been fun bringing these to you.
Back to camp.